Cervical Spine Diaries, day 3, or is it day 4? We'll get there. As you can see, I'm feeling, I'm smiley. I was smiley yesterday, but I am super smiley today. Yesterday was a strange day. Today's been even stranger. But I need to tell you about the really wonderful, exciting news. I have been given a place in the London Prudential Ride 100 ballot. Now, I've been entering this thing for years, and for the non-cyclists out there, it's the equivalent of the London Marathon, and I am absolutely over the moon that I'm going to be cycling out of London. So I think it starts at Olympic Park, through Surrey, up some bastarding big hills, particularly Box Hill. I'm not scared of hills. I love a hill climb. I'm slow, but I get there anyway. And you finish in the centre of London. It's really iconic, and I've been accepted. But I've got 6 months. 6 months today, in fact. So the doubt has set in. The fear. Can I do this? Sorry, gotta move. Oh, that's better. Can I, in 6 months, go from being a virtual cripple who spending most of her day lying on a heat pad to cycling 100 miles. Now, this is going to be the big test. I've already started overthinking this, and I need to take a deep breath and speak to the people around me. I have a husband who is a superb athlete and has been through injuries, recoveries. I need his advice. I need the advice of the professionals who are helping me get better. What do they think? And then I need a sensible, key word for me, sensible training plan. I don't like to be defeated. I don't like to be beaten. And I think that's part of why I'm getting so agitated with the recovery with this. It's slow. I've got to do this thing. I want to do this thing more than anything. It's huge. We're planning on going to the Alps this summer so Nigel can compete in La Marmotte, which is, if the Ride 100 is insane, Marmotte is just in another league. Craziness. Anyway, I'll have a chance to do some practicing out there, some long rides, some hill climbs, if I'm better. I have an incentive now, but I also have to get through the fear barrier. Am I going to get on a bike? Am I going to be guarding my neck? Am I going to be worrying the whole time? Is it going to go? What's going to happen? The brain has gone into overdrive. So we just need to damp those wild thoughts down a bit and breathe. So that's the good news today. I'm also feeling 10, maybe even 15% better than I did yesterday. Massive achievement. I got a sports bra on, all on my own. Gentlemen, that means absolutely nothing to you. Ladies, you know trying to get a sports bra on with 2 hands is difficult enough. I did it with 1.5, which means I can now move my arm behind me and I have enough feeling in my fingers to grip hold of it and pull the bloody thing down at the back. That was fantastic, not to have to wander around the house asking somebody to help me. Good feeling. Yesterday, Ty did some brilliant work, realigning shoulder, realigning muscles, doing some deep tissue work, and I felt beaten up yesterday when I did my video diary. There's a lot more relaxation through the shoulder today. I feel like the muscles are starting to go back to where they belong. The biggest problem is the pain still in the elbow, so we have to now look at which nerve that is and start working on that area. We'll get there. I'm going to try and drive a car today. Haven't driven for weeks. We're going to take the dogs out for a walk. Nigel will be the passenger. If anything, if I don't feel comfy, if I can't use the hand properly, I've got somebody to take over. Big positive. But there's also something else I need to tell you about. Now, I've been under the pain clinic for many years. And they've treated my lower back brilliantly. The doctors there have been superb. I've been through all the drug protocols, so I know the ins and outs of things like amitriptyline, put on 4 stone with that, don't want to go near that one again, and a drug called gabapentin. And gabapentin was developed for people with seizures, but one of the side effects of gabapentin is it damps down nerve pain. And that was my diva meltdown yesterday, that the pharmacist hadn't written, or the doctor hadn't done a prescription for gabapentin. Now, backstory as always. I don't like taking medication. And before the sneeze and this got worse, I'd come off all the hideous drugs that the hospital had given me and was just taking paracetamol and ibuprofen, but not while I was teaching a class. So I knew if I was in pain, I couldn't demonstrate an exercise. So if I wasn't feeling pain, that meant things were getting better and I could use the arm. Post-sneeze, the pain has been so bad that ibuprofen and gabapentin haven't touched it. Deep breath. Need to look at the drugs. Because while I don't like the side effects, they work. Now, weaning myself off gabapentin, and gabapentin made me very depressed, so they put me on an antidepressant. So coming off both of them in the summer was hard work, fairly horrible. I did it while I was on holiday, but I did it. And now here I am, back on the gabapentin, thinking, do I want to be doing this? Because of what it does to my mind. But I also know the effect it has on my body. So I'm thinking part of the pain relief today could be from actually getting my meds right. I'm taking naproxen, which is the big brother of ibuprofen. I'm taking omeprazole, which lines the stomach. That's got side effects as well, but again, live with that, so that the naproxen doesn't happily chew its way through my stomach lining, basically. And then I'm taking a rather large dose of gabapentin. So apologies now to anyone coming to my classes. There's a bit of brain fog going on. I know what I want to say. The words form in here, but what comes out of here is sometimes quite different. I'm sorry, bear with me. Because while I'm not in pain, I relax. And when I relax, the muscles relax, and then they don't grip onto the nerves. So everything starts to calm down. I know I need to do this. I don't want to. And I know I'm going to have to wean myself off it. It's like the training plan for the cycle ride. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to be done. So, not wanting to take the medication, but knowing that it works for me, again, it's that little war that goes on in our heads. We all have it when we do things that don't sit completely right with how we feel. Yeah, I know it's going to help. So, a little bit of pharmacy, a little bit of exercise and manipulation, a little bit of bone cracking, and then slowly. So as I feel less pain, so I'll reduce the medication. If I do it slowly, I might not get the horrible side effects of just going cold turkey coming off meds. And I've done that, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to do it, but I'm daft like that. If you know me, if you're watching this and you know me well, some of the thought processes are a bit odd, but you know. Anyway, so medication, we're getting there. Pain relief, we're getting there. It's just those little wars in my head that I've got to now stop. Really keep that positive. People ask me, how are you doing? And I say, 1% better. Well, today I've said I'm 10, 15% better than I was yesterday. And I've got to remember that. That's why I'm doing these diaries, to watch the steps forward. Now there's going to come a day, don't know when, that I'm going to sit here in tears and tell you it's all gone tits up. I've gone backwards. I had a sneeze this morning, by the way, and I braced my neck, and there was no side effects or after effects, so yay on that one. But anyway, I don't expect this to be plain sailing. I expect this to be a challenge, and I think I'm going to keep the diaries going while I'm training for this bike ride, because that's going to be hard too. There's going to be days when I believe in myself and days when I doubt every move I make. One thing though I have been thinking about, and it goes back to driving the car. Nigel and I have got this plan. We've had the house valued. We're looking at putting it on the market and moving into the middle of nowhere. We're trying to find a cottage that needs doing up, that's going to be our retirement home. Not that I ever plan on retiring. I love what I do far too much. And living in the middle of nowhere. Now, not being able to drive, living in the middle of nowhere, how's that going to pan out? I'm lucky, and I never thought I'd say this about living in the middle of Ipswich. I've got a bus stop outside my house if I need to get into town. I'm a mile from the hospital. I'm 300 or 400 metres from shops. And I'm now thinking, God forbid something should happen that I'm on my own and I can't get in a car and I'm miles from everywhere. How's that going to work? Is this the right decision? Because we were all guns blazing. We were ready. The house, you know, we are serious about it. My dear late mum, she lived about a mile and a, probably just about a mile from where I live now. And as her health deteriorated, my brother, sister and I tried to persuade her to move into sheltered accommodation, or at least into a bungalow. Just, yeah, you need somewhere different. You need somewhere where you're better cared for, Mum. Mum stayed put because Mum was 100 metres from a bus stop, 100 metres from shops, 15 metres from her best friend. She had that support system. And this last couple of weeks have shown me how important it is to have those things close by. So with all the other shit that's rattling around in my head at the moment now, I'm now thinking, do I want to live in a cottage in the middle of nowhere? Well, yes, of course I do. But I've now got a different perspective to put on it. Just putting it out there to have a think about, folks. Anyway, signing off for today. Let you know tomorrow how driving the car goes. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, you know it didn't go very well and it's wrapped round a tree somewhere. It won't be. I'll be fine. Thanks for listening. Thanks, and thank you to all of you that have been sending me the most incredible messages of support and encouragement. I have been reduced to tears, happy tears, and nothing nicer than a happy tear, with the outpouring of support from all of you guys. It's kept me going, and it's made me realise that I am probably, screwed up neck and all, one of the luckiest people I know, because I do a job that I love, and I work with, and I'm talking about you guys, my clients. I call most of you friends now because you are phenomenal, and I'm so glad to be of assistance. See you tomorrow.